Hello, Leo, and welcome to your Astroflower reading, which is going to be between this is for the week, this is going between 13th and the 13th and the 20th, yes, of February. So this is actually going to be in two parts. The second part will be clarification with the mini travel pack. But the first part is going to be clarification according to your elements and your qualities in the Astroflower. So if you want to know where they are, go into the link for the second video will be in the first section of the comments below. First section of the comments below, and if not, the link to the Astroflower, your elements and your qualities, will be in the description below, so you can actually sort of see how this is affecting your elements and your qualities according to the cards. Okay, so just sort of going through here, this is going to be for the week. Let's see what's going on here. It's quite a nice thing. Yeah, do you know, very similar to Aquarius. Opposite, really, almost upside down to Aquarius. Oh, blimey, look. Okay, so there's a few things to be dealing with. Now, these two cards here came out together, so I'm going to keep them together, but they're on your karmic path, on your spiritual sort of sense. And the other cards are, this one's here and this one here is for how the universe is sort of influencing you. These two here are your karmic paths. Spiritual sense and physical sense, and then you have how your guides help to develop your karmic path with the universe, and this is how your guides help to influence or encourage that conversation within yourself. That is the outcome, and that is what's the middle card is what's going through you at the moment in this week. So I think so. Where should we start? Should we start on the physical or the emotional? I think we start on the emotional side. The universe has brought us the moon card. So this is actually coming out. You're the third reading that's had this. So the universe is sort of trying to help to reveal, this is what I think, hidden energies or hidden things on your emotional path. There's no sort of Seven of Swords or anything like that. So there's no sort of like, it may be a case of just trying to elucidate things rather than anything else. It's not like anyone's doing you any wrong by this sort of things at the moment. And it's more a case of the universe is trying to help you, encourage you to see through the hidden energies. So you can see a little bit clearer on your path. On your karmic path, you do have the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Cups. Now that's really nice pairing. For this karmic path. It's all to do with Nine of Cups, it's to do with the wish fulfilled and stuff like that. You have like your cardinal air and your cardinal earth coming in through there in the center of you. That cardinal earth comes from Cancer and that cardinal air comes from Libra. So it's trying to give you clarity of thought or clarity of physically of how to be within your relationship. It looks like your emotions should be, the Queen of Cups is connected to all forms of emotions. It's not just love. There's love in the community, love in your family, love in, in with your friends and etc. And it's sort of like, your karmic path may be this week of sort of like exploring the idea of what the universe can bring for you. In the way of wishes and stuff like that and gifts from the universe. So it might be a good idea to keep an eye out for that sort of thing. And that's where the moon card comes into play, because you've got the fixed earth on the outside and the fixed air on the inside. So there's very defined things that you might have to look out for. So, it might be that like your partner says, or he says, I'd like to go to the cinema, for example, and that will be kind of, yeah, okay, great, let's go ahead and do that. So it gives you, and it's really your partner that's trying to sort of say, and this is where the hidden energies come in, sort of saying, I'd like to go out more, I'd like to see more things in life or do more things. and that's where you can come up and you can kind of go, yeah, I can understand that, I can feel that, and therefore you can actually get involved with also with the sort of emotional karmic path of your partners. If you're looking for a partner, it will help you to see through. If you're looking to sort of fall in love or be in a relationship and etc., it's helping you to see through the chaff, so you can see the wheat. That's what that moon's all about. And you should wish fully with your heart this week. And what with it being Valentine's Day this week, this is what might well come up. After that, you've got on the where your guides are trying to influence your karmic path, you have the Strength card, which is pretty much you. It's that lion. It's that lion heart. She's got a heart around her neck, and there is she's half lion, half lamb. So, and that's very much Leo. Leo can be, very fierce when they've got something that's, they've got their bee in a bonnet about something, but they can also be very soft like the lamb. So, your karmic path, your guides are trying to help you there to sort of work out where you're supposed to be the hard and fast of your emotions at the moment, and how you to sort of maybe to soften up a little bit and be wary of that Strength card, imposing card that it can be, where you actually opening up to the gifts from the universe, and you can open up that Queen of Cups that actually opens up to emotions and love that go across the entire board here. But it is it's coming into you. So it's basically about what you want to enjoy, what you want to experience in this world at the moment and this week for your spiritual path. And your guides seem to be backing you up to sort of say, you have the strength to go through this. You have the strength to sort of put yourself out there, almost like a bit of a risk, really. And you might be worried about what you can't see around the corner, but the universe is sort of saying, don't worry, it's got your back on this. So the universe and your guides seem to be sort of backing you up here and wanting you to explore and experience that best thing about the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Cups. And as I say, those cardinal energies that are bringing it into you. So it is the interaction with the outside world, which will be the most interesting. On on the Strength card, which is in petal 5, you have that cardinal air that's coming round here, and you have that cardinal earth that's coming underneath it. But on the outside, you have that fire and air underneath it. So it's very passionate from the outside world at the moment. And that passion could be playing through you and playing to your strengths. So they're asking you to stay strong and strong with who you are and what you're doing at the moment. And the elements seem to be backing up as well. Because that strength is built out of understanding. And that's where the guides are trying to help that conversation that is within you. And on this card, you have your mutable earth that comes through there, and your cardinal water that comes through from Cancer there. So it's very productive, certainly in emotions and stuff like that, and turning the emotions into physical sort of things. So that's going to be, coming through, and they're going to be strong emotions that come through from the outside world. And on the inside, you've got that cardinal air and that fixed fire of your good selves. And this understanding, of the Hierophant is all about sort of, it's sort of about knowledge. But what he's done is it's where you've got the Hermit opposite. And this is very interesting. The Hermit opposite has got that pathway that goes up through the mountains and comes up to the top of the mountains. When he comes up to the top of the mountains, there's a great realization within yourself. And then with that realization, you can then share that realization with other people around you. And apparently you've already done that emotionally in this week. And you should be sharing those emotions with people around you. It's a bit of a teacher's card as well, where Hierophants are teaching people about the emotional path. And that stairwell, rather than winding round the mountain, is actually going straight now to its goal, which is that star at the top. So it's your guides are sort of saying, you've got this. Emotionally, on the emotional and the spiritual front. And if you're looking, say, like if you're in a relationship, it basically means, yeah, you can take the lead in this relationship in this week with your partner, but be wary of those hidden energies, and allow them into your life. Allow them into your life in a very constructive way, so you can actually build on that Nine of Cups and that Queen of Cups. And therefore, you can encourage those emotions and that spiritualness or that well-being of spirit within your partner. And I think, that you can certainly help each other a long way through the relationship side. And it does come through to the final petal, which is the outcome in a way of that Six of Pentacles, which is a fair exchange. And this is what I've been saying all the way through. It seems like that's what's happening here. There is a fair exchange, and you'll be giving back your experience of what's been going on in your lives over the past sort of month or so. If you are looking for love, it's like sort of saying, the universe is sort of saying, allow things to come in from the left field. Let the unseen energies work for you, so you can then get gifts from the universe and and fall in love basically with the world around you. It will make you feel a lot more confident within yourself. And once you've got confidence within yourself, then you can then build upon those confident within yourself. And then therefore you can step into relationships with your understanding of how you see yourself and how you feel about the world. So it should be really constructive, very solid path on the emotional front as it goes through. We have had filament energies coming through, so that plays on the water, which is this section here, which might be that hermit moment that you might have felt at the end of the weekend, this weekend. This comes out on Friday, so it's the Friday and the Saturday, and that may lead you into the coming week. We've also had a coronal hole that's come through, which is also going to start off your week, which is also this section here, which is your mutable. It comes around this section here. But you also have the cardinal coming through this section here, which comes through Cancer. Sorry, I'll get there in a minute. But you also have that Earth at the base, yeah. So if next week if we get a lot of solar flares, for example, then that's going to be affecting your surface. That's going to be affecting all the fire that was within you, but also in this section here, which we will go into later on. And that may be that part where you've got to stay strong and know yourself, because it might get a little bit, the passions may run high, which is really good, but you don't want to lose yourself in the situation either. So I would live those passions fully, but understand who you are, where you're from and where you're going. Be honest with yourself. Be straight with yourself. Be straight with your partner. Be straight with any future love. So if you've asked someone to go on a date or something like that, because you got to be in the game to win it, I guess. So it's being straight with yourself and being straight with people around you will bring you into a lovely and beautiful fair exchange, which will be a change of what you may have felt coming into the week. So that's on your spiritual sort of front, on that sort of side. On your material side, we have the universe. Now, you're not the only one who's got this one here. In fact, as yet, and I haven't done all the readings, as yet, every single reading has had this card. They've also had the Hermit, it's got to be said, and the Moon. So there is something definitely going on through that. And it's a feeling of, normally it's a feeling of entrapment and stuff like that. But I think the universe is here. This is what the universe is trying to guide you with. So I think the universe is sort of saying, because of your karmic path, and this is to do with that death and rebirth, this is your karmic path. You may have a moment next week, I would say probably by the midweek, Wednesday or something like that, where you've got this mutable earth and mutable fire and mutable earth that goes around it, and you have the same thing of fixed fire. And did I say fire or earth? Here, so fire on this side, mutable fire, mutable earth. fixed fire and fixed earth. So the universe is sort of saying, don't tie yourselves up in knots by being too rigid in this. Don't forget, this is the start of a journey, and learn what you've learned in the past, how not to put yourself in a situation where you feel blocked. It's also a card of sort of missing opportunities because you're feeling blocked. And, you know, that could be that fixed side of your good selves that you have, because after that it's very free coming through the week, where you've got the Ace of Cups, which is just above it, and this is where your guides are sort of trying to encourage you in the physical world and material world. And this could be to do with your job, this could be to be with your business, this could be to do with like building houses or acquiring stuff. It's the saying, allow your love to shine, allow your heart to open, so you can actually provide it almost as a gift for the rest of the universe, or the people or everyone that is around you, and live your heart's desires. That's what it's sort of saying here. And I think that'll come through in this week as you're true to yourself on the spiritual sort of side, and therefore on the material side, you can actually live that dream of living something that is actually a beautiful experience. It could be that dream job that comes through, or the dream business opportunity that you've been thinking about, and it's the start of that journey. And if you do it without tying yourself up in knots about the administration of where I should do this and everything like that, but more sort of how should I do this, then basically you should have a really good time, because you've got that mutable mutable air that comes through from Gemini between these two here. So it's asking you to be mentally very flexible. And then you have that fixed fire that comes around you, which is your own fixed fire. So basically you want the passions to be constant, which is the Ace of Cups, is starting a journey. So be constant in your passions, but be a little bit more sort of flexible mentally, because just above that you have the Hermit. And you're going to have to, in order to see this on the material front, you're going to have to go within you to see what or how you can apply yourself in the material world, according to your job and your business or your projects and stuff like that. And as I was explaining earlier on, that is a learning curve. So it's coming from the past here, where it's sort of saying, as I was saying earlier on, don't get tied up in old ways of doing things. You should have learnt from the past experiences. And this is where it comes to the front. So your guides are really connecting the two, and those messages might come out by the end of the week. It can be a case of in the middle of the week, you're starting to enjoy or starting to express your pleasure of working, of associating your pleasures with work, and getting on that sort of front. But as it goes through the week, you're going to have to do a little bit of introspective to find the things that, so you don't block yourself in the coming future, because everything needs to be a fair exchange with that Six of Pentacles that is coming through. And as you have underneath here, you have that cardinal water that comes through at the base of Six of Pentacles over the top of the Hermit. And then you have that mutable earth that comes through from Virgo that comes through you between the two. So Virgo will, is that mutable earth, which will ensure that fair exchange. That's the Six of Pentacles. I would associate it with Virgo. Many readers of cards, associate different cards with different things. But I would associate that with the Six of Pentacles, because Virgo is that mutable thing, and that has got that go-between. And it's gonna ask you to explore all this week that understanding of the connecting between the two. If in this coming week we have a lot of coronal holes, that is going to be reinforced even more. Those earth energies that come through. If you don't know what I'm talking about with earth energies and coronal holes to do with the sun and etc., please go onto Cymatic TV, look at some of the energy updates that I've done. You'll be able to understand what these vibrations are coming through and affecting the earth, affecting you and me, affecting everything around us. But if we do have filament energies, that's where that cardinal energy is coming in. So that will make it a little bit more sort of fluid, easy to step back out of the fray of things and actually enjoy your emotions rather than being overwhelmed by your emotions. And that coronal hole, if coronal holes do come through next week, it's going to be pushing down onto this wishes from a universe or gifts from a universe, and your pure love that comes out with the your community love, your greater love, your love in everything, with the Queen of Cups. It's also going to play at your base as well, because you've got Earth at your base. If we have solar flares coming in, then that's obviously, as I say, it's going to be affecting your exterior a little bit more. If we get that filament energy, that's going to be affecting the water. If it's all very calm and we get a lot of cosmic rays through, then therefore there's going to be a lot more challenges on the mental side of life, in the spiritual sort of sense, or the emotional sort of side of life, because you also have the fixed air at the base in this petal here, petal 1, and you have the cardinal air that comes around petal 2, and it also encompasses the petal 5 where you have the strength. So it will sort of, you may feel a little bit of a pressure mentally on you to actually make a decision to have that fair exchange between you and the other people. So that's with the cosmic rays. It may also sort of play in this sort of side as well, which will make the physical things a little bit more sort of flexible, maybe for the mental side of life. But because you've had the pressure on the spiritual sort of side, or the emotional sort of side, couples, this side here will allow you to explore and go within and see within yourself what triggers you to sort of say, yeah, I do love that. So it will depend on the weather, what we get next time, but you do have that crossing of that earth and air just below that petal, so it is pretty productive. The Five of Cups is like disappointment. And you might have felt disappointed over the last week. The week's just gone. And we did have a lot of filament energies and solar flares. So it would have been trying a lot of that energies and forcing that new journey through for this coming week. And it might be a case of just feeling a little bit disappointed that you didn't get all the plans into fruition or into place the week before. But this coming week, it seems like there's a definite change going on for you guys. So it should be a very productive week. Let's put it that way. Not too much in the way of putting it out there, but much more in a way of actually getting involved. So, don't forget, what you put out is what you get back, and that's what that Six of Pentacles is all about. So, as I say, there's loads of links in the description below so you can learn about the Astroflower, about the elements and the qualities and stuff like that. This appears to be your coming week according to the Astroflower. So on the spiritual front, being sure about yourself and expressing that and getting involved in the community that is around you. On the physical front, starting that journey and start moving on with your heart and start enjoying what you're doing. So don't forget, we exist because I exist because you subscribe and you watch these videos. So please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Click that bell. Do like, share this video, and also make comments. It does help with the algorithm of YouTube. So then YouTube can then help other people see these messages and stuff like that. It does generally help, and it certainly will help us out. So it would be much appreciated. In the meantime, don't forget, the link for the part 2 will be in the comments below. So please do enjoy.